TH15 players, if you're struggling against Town Hall 16 bases in trophy pushing or clan wars, this strategy might completely change your attacks. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 TH15 versus TH16 attacks using a Super Witch Fireball strategy. And the crazy part is that my heroes aren't even maxed. The first attack is a clean trophy push triple, the second is a comfortable clan war 3-star against another Town Hall 16, and the third attack honestly should have failed. I completely missed the fireball because of a misplaced invisibility spell, but somehow the attack still turned into a triple. So if you're looking for a TH15 strategy that can consistently beat TH16 bases and even recover from mistakes, let's get into it. Before we get into the attacks, let's take a quick look at the army setup I've been using against Town Hall 16 bases. The Barbarian King is using the Spiky Ball and Earthquake Boots, the Archer Queen is equipped with the Magic Mirror and Action Figure, and the Grand Warden is running the Fireball along with the Rage Gem, which is the core of this entire strategy. For the Royal Champion, I'm using Rocket Spear with Electro Boots, although Seeking Shield is also a great option if you have it at a higher level. For the army, we're using 5 healers, 2 balloons, 2 ice golems, 4 super witches, 1 apprentice warden, 2 super wall breakers, 2 headhunters, and 1 minion for cleanup. For spells, I'm bringing 3 invisibility spells, 2 earthquake spells, 1 rage spell, 1 jump spell, 1 freeze spell, and 1 poison spell. For siege machines, you can adjust based on the base layout, but I mainly use the siege barracks, flame flinger, and log launcher. Finally, inside the clan castle, I'm using a troop thrower with 2 minions, 1 balloon, 3 super minions, and 3 totem spells. Now that we've covered the army, let's get into the attacks. For the first attack, we're going up against a Town Hall 16 base with mostly maxed defenses. And right away I noticed some good fireball value on the top side of the base. So I start the Warden Walk there. I then use 2 invisibility spells to target the Rage Spell Tower, but unfortunately, the Fireball lands on the Wizard Tower instead. Even though it doesn't hit exactly where I wanted, we still get enough value to continue the attack. So I move into the main push by deploying the Super Witches and bringing the Grand Warden toward the army. Once the Super Witches start spawning the big boys, I send in the Barbarian King, because deploying him earlier can cause him to take unnecessary damage before the tanking starts. At the same time, I place the Archer Queen along with the siege barracks on the corner of the base to create a funnel, which helps guide the main army directly into the core compartment instead of letting it spread around the outside. Since the core still contains a large portion of the base's defenses and my heroes aren't maxed, I decide to bring in the Royal Champion a little earlier than usual so that her ability, along with the King's ability, can help clear the center more efficiently. While the Queen, Giants, and Super Minions from the Siege Barracks work through the bottom side of the base, the Royal Champion continues moving toward the remaining defenses, and near the end of the attack, I use my final totem spell to keep her alive against Ricochet Cannon long enough to finish her job, and we wrap up the attack with a comfortable 3-star and a full 40 trophies. For the second attack, we're facing another Town Hall 16 base in regular clan wars. And this time, I decide to start the Warden Walk near the monolith compartment because there are several key defenses that can be reached with the Fireball. With just a single invisibility spell, I'm able to pick up some great value early and remove a large portion of that compartment before moving into the main phase of the attack. After securing that value, I deploy the main army from the bottom side of the base, while placing the Archer Queen on the corner to create a clean funnel. The pathing works out exactly as planned and the army enters the base where I want it to. But since the layout is a little more spread out than the previous one, I avoid using the King's ability too early and save it for a more important moment. Once the clan castle troops come out, I immediately drop the poison spell to deal with them while the main army continues pushing forward. Timing the King's ability correctly is important here, because it helps open up the base and allows the push to keep moving through multiple compartments. On the right side, the Queen and Clan Castle troops take care of a large section of the base, which allows me to deploy the Royal Champion from the top side to speed up the cleanup and help with the remaining defenses. By this point, most of the major threats have already been removed and there are still plenty of troops alive, so the rest of the attack becomes fairly straightforward. Throughout the attack, It's important to get maximum value from your totem spells, whether that's protecting the king during heavy damage, supporting the main push through the core, or helping the royal champion survive longer against the remaining defenses. With everything working together, the base falls apart quite quickly, and we secure another comfortable 3-star against the Town Hall 16. Now for the final attack, and this is probably the best example of why I like this strategy so much. This Town Hall 16 base has most of its major defenses concentrated in the core. So my plan is to start the Warden walk from the 9 o'clock side and target the multi-archer tower compartment in order to get as much fireball value as possible before committing the rest of the army. Unfortunately, things don't go according to plan because I completely missed the fireball. At that moment, I honestly think the attack might be over since the core is still intact and most of the important defenses are untouched. Instead of panicking, I continue with the original plan and deploy the main army from the top side while placing the Archer Queen and Siege Barracks on the corner to create a funnel and guide the Super Witches toward the center of the base. I also delay the Barbarian King slightly, so that he doesn't take unnecessary damage before the Super Witches start spawning their big boys. As the army reaches the core, I use 2 totem spells back to back to help the main push survive through a huge amount of damage. And this ends up being one of the key moments of the attack, because the totem spells, combined with the king's ability, allow the army to push through an area that normally would have stopped the attack completely. The giant spawn from the queen's action figure helps the queen clear the right side of the base. I use the jump spell to connect the lower compartment to the core, and that setup becomes extremely important because it keeps the main army moving through the base instead of forcing it around the outside. Once the core starts falling, I deploy the royal champion to help with the remaining defenses on the back end. Since I'm using rocket spear and electro boots, she can pick off defenses from long range while avoiding a lot of incoming damage, which allows her to contribute value even though the attack didn't go according to plan at the start. From there, I use my remaining spells and cleanup troops to finish off the last defenses, and somehow, despite completely missing the fireball, we still managed to secure the 3-star. Considering this was done with a non-max TH15 army against a Town Hall 16, it really shows how forgiving and powerful this strategy can be when the hero abilities and totem spells are used correctly. Overall, this strategy has been one of the most reliable TH15 attacks I've used against Town Hall 16 bases, and hopefully these replays gave you a better idea of how it works in different situations. Whether the attack goes perfectly, or you make a mistake like missing the fireball, good hero ability timing, proper pathing, and smart totem spell usage can still carry the attack a long way. If you found the video helpful, consider subscribing for more TH15 attack guides, trophy pushing content, and clan war attacks. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.